Hello and welcome back to Lead Sahitya. Today we are discussing a very important topic, that is concept and types of translation. So translation is like understanding a message in one language and then writing it in another language so that people who speak that language can understand it too. When we translate, the text we start with is called source text and the language we are translating it into is called the target language. The thing we end up with, the text in the other language, is called the target text. The word translation comes from an old word in French and before that Latin word which means transporting. It's like carrying the message from one language to another. People have been translating for a really long time. In the world of languages, the word translation can mean a few different things. It can mean the general idea of translating, like when someone says, I studied translation at university. It can also mean the thing that gets translated, like when someone says, they published the Arabic translation of the report. It can mean the whole process of doing the translating, which we call translation service. When we translate, especially between two languages that are written, like English and Chinese, we are taking words from the original text, which we call the source text, and changing them into words in other languages, which we call the target text. For example, if you are translating a manual for a product from Chinese into English, the source text is in Chinese, and the target text is in English. This kind of translation is called interlingual translation. A long time ago, Roman Jacobson came up with three different types of translation. The first one is intralingual translation, that is, when we change words or phrases within the same language. The second one is interlingual translation. It is uh, it is what we usually think of as a regular translation, where we change words from one language to another. The third one is intersemiotic translation. It is when we use different kinds of signs like pictures or symbols to change words from one language into something else. For example, if there is a screenplay, that screenplay is written into words and it will be transferred into the big picture, that is cinema. So here is what we see here is it is getting translated from text to the picture, right? So this kind of translation is called intersemiotic translation. But there is another way to look at translation, and that's through the lens of literature. When we translate literature, like novels, poems, or plays, it is a bit different. See, literature is not just about words. It's about feelings, cultures, and a lot of other deep stuff. Some people even say that certain kinds of literature can't be translated at all. That is because it's not just about words, it's about everything else too. In literary translation, we have to be really careful to capture not just what the words mean, but also how they make us feel, what they tell us about the culture they come from, even things like humor. It's like trying to catch a butterfly without hurting its wings. On the other hand, non literary translation is about different things. It's not about capturing feelings and culture, it's about sharing information. This kind of translation covers all sorts of topics like science, technology, news, and more. In non literary translation, we have to make sure that the information is clear and accurate. It's a bit like building a bridge between two languages so that knowledge can flow from one to the other. Translating non literary text can be really challenging because we need to understand the subject we are translating. If we are translating a text about physics, we better know a lot about physics. Sometimes we even have to make up new words in the target language because there might not be a word for something in the source language. So in a nutshell, translation is like a bridge between languages. Whether we are translating literature or non-literary text, our job is to make sure that the message comes through loud and clear in other language. It's like being a language detective, solving the puzzle of meaning and making sure people from different places can understand each other. So this is all we have about the concept of translation in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.